Hello, welcome back to the Mervyn League podcast. Hey guys, how are we doing? I'm back. I faced my game suspension. I'm back. Ash, fab job last week. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks, Ben. How are you?
Good. Yes, I'm all right. Thank you. I'm all right. I'm not in the studio, not in the office. I am in the much warmer climes of Portugal this week. Portugal. I'd love to say I got sent here to get the lowdown on the final. But it's not quite true. Just on my jolly days. But John, how are
I'm
you?
good. It's good to have you back. It's good to have some stability again. But look, you're on your holidays.
Yeah.
But
Thank
here
you.
you are.
Oh, guys, it's always a holiday chatting with you two, and also there's just too much going on that we could not meet. We've had
We
the
lost.
final. We lost. You guys had some fantastic predictions. I must admit, I loved all the permutations last week, every which way. I mean, you guys.
I don't know
you
if there
were
was.
bold.
Well, I don't
You were
think we really
brave.
did the permutations. I think we actually telegraphed it. We only gave one permutation.
You just
it happened to be the wrong one.
Well,
I say we were right in a way.
why don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
one
got
game
half
right.
right.
Oh.
You're half right. Yeah. Well, why don't we start with the final? Why don't we start there? England, Spain, back-to-back Euros finals for us, which is, when you just think about it, that in itself is actually pretty amazing. Considering there's also been a World Cup semi-final as well. So just getting there is amazing. But we all wanted to win. We all thought it's possibly slightly doable. However, facing the best team in the tournament.
The team I predicted would be out in the
Ash.
group stage. At every single opportunity to make a prediction on Spain, I went against them. And I couldn't be more wrong.
Yeah, how is that humble pie tasting? How's it tasting?
Hey, look, I always said they're dangerous. However, so in a way, I was right. They were
just
dangerous.
very dangerous.
Eat your humble
Yeah,
paella,
that's true.
my friend.
That's true.
Your humble paella.
Very good, humble paella. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. And John, let's have a look at some of the positives first. What impressed you in that final? Could be from England, could be from Spain. What impressed you?
Well, there's a lot to be impressed by from Spain. But they were good, really, weren't they? They played how they have played all tournament.
Yeah.
They used their wingers to great effect, and we couldn't really handle it. Ashley summed it up quite well. We were okay, I thought. I thought we were pretty, considering the occasion, everything. Like, we weren't played off the park, I wouldn't say. But yeah, we never really looked like. I mean, if we'd have won the game at the end or something, I don't. Yeah, we would have felt really. Obviously, it would have been good, but it would have been jammy. When you look at the way Spain played the whole tournament, and particularly they continued it in the final, they really did deserve it. So yeah.
Yeah, they did. Do you think this is like the birth of, or like the next generation of the winger? If you think of a lot of teams nowadays, a lot of false nines, a lot of number 10s. But do you think this is a bit more of the rebirth of the winger position?
It could be.
It's like
even
seeing...
look at
Ash, what do you think?
Saka,
very true. It's reminded me of the sort of Aaron Lennon, Theo Walcott days. It's really refreshing.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm stuck in that era. We've got wingers like Aaron Lennon. We've got Grant Holt up front. I'm stuck in that era.
The 2010.
We've got Paul Lambert not up
the
front.
2010s.
But not Paul Lambert, no.
Paul Lambert's in midfield.
Yeah.
Not Paul, do you mean Ricky Lambert?
Lambert,
Ricky and Paul.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like the Chuckle Brothers.
Who'd they play for?
They were phenomenal. They were, Rotherham United.
Yeah.
Famous. Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal, phenomenal. Amazing to see as well Lamar get Young Player of the Tournament. He was 17 the day before the tournament, followed it up with another great performance. Rodri, player of the tournament. What do you think about that? Because here's what he does. Sometimes just is like not even. It's not headline stuff. It's not noticed, but he's so consistent.
Pure composure.
Is he player of the tournament worthy?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think
Yeah.
at the start of the tournament, what we talked about was the word composure, and he really embodies that word. He's a man who looks unflustered, controlling the game, going with wherever the dynamics of the match are. I think he probably was player of the tournament, or a fair.
You know what I read about
There's
him?
a few players you probably could have picked, but a fair one. Yeah, go on, John.
He's played in his last 82 games, is it? Or 81? Something like that. He's lost one.
Wow. Who's that against? Did they say?
Wait, was it that Arsenal? Was it?
Oh, nice, very nice.
But anyway, like,
well, that's what happens when you read Arsenal fan fiction. Let's stick with Rodri slightly, because obviously he only played 45 minutes in the final, and it maybe felt like that could be the moment for England to kick on, and it almost felt like suddenly the game was going to open up. No.
The game opened up, but not necessarily in our favour.
It was only after they'd scored that I realised he'd been taken off. Like, I didn't watch half time, and then so I didn't even have that excitement of, ooh, we got a chance now.
Yeah. And let's kind of Spain. Let's have a look at England. Is it wrong to say where did it go wrong? Is it right to say that, or maybe how come it didn't click? Because I think all tournament we were waiting for.
I suppose we didn't play any differently to we had. There was no surprises in the way we played compared to what we have all tournament. And even still, you had that belief that someone would do something. And it was a great goal we scored. A couple of quick touches and a great thing.
Yeah.
Did we do anything wrong on the night? I don't think so. I don't think there were any howling performances. Kane hasn't been good all tournament. He wasn't good then. So.
Yeah. It was quite... I mean, number one, a fantastic goal from Cole Palmer. But number two, was it a little bit of a, come on, I've been here all tournament. This is what I do. Was it a bit of a bittersweet moment?
Moment. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's got that. I think
fingers.
That's him anyway. I think that's just...
Yeah.
Did he? It hasn't felt he's been hiding all tournament. It felt like he's been there for me. I suppose it's players like Gordon who we literally haven't seen, apart from a minute or two.
Yeah.
It's a funny tournament.
Adam Wharton, Joe Gomez.
Yeah. It was a funny tournament, really, if you're looking at England. Somehow not good, but also very good. I think it's a little bit of Gareth Southgate's career summed up in one tournament. Results, but lots of question marks still. And well, he's gone now. He's gone.
Ben.
Yes, he is. This is today. We're recording. Was it 16th of July? And Gareth has resigned. He's moving on. Let's just, before we think about who might come in, let's just talk about his legacy.
Yeah.
Has he left a legacy?
Let's untangle his legacy.
Yeah.
Maybe we can even write his legacy now.
Go on then. Forget actual journalists who'll do that job. John, sell it to us.
I think he has a legacy. It's going to be remembered, and he got the pubs full, didn't he? He got people excited. A lot of people I know were way into him. Still are way into him.
So his legacy is vibes.
Well, yeah, but the vibes has come from the results, because we play more games. That's more pub time, more games, more pints, more vibes, and he's created a legacy like that.
The UK pub industry has a lot to owe to Gareth Southgate.
He has made watching England an event again. It felt like It's felt good.
He has.
And we've had a lot of success.
Yeah.
And don't know. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah.
Is it a good legacy you're painting here?
Is it good? Is it poor? I think he will be remembered a lot for what he's done off the pitch, as well, for how he's brought in a new generation of players, how he's coached them as men, as characters, as well as footballers. I think particularly if you think of those pictures of the last Euros final, losing to Italy on penalties, arms around players, speaking up for, against racism, speaking up for all sorts of different causes throughout his time. He's really, that will be a big part of his legacy. He's not just made England a football team; he's made them a team of people that we can relate to in some way, or a team that's like, oh, they're not just they're not just high-paid performing athletes. They're also normal people who suffer with anxiety or have these other struggles, and actually he's humanised the team. And I think that is great. That will be forever remembered and should be remembered. I think
But
on the
here's
pitch,
the but.
I would say he started off so well, and then I would say towards the end, like Nations League, qualification, this tournament has been quite hard to watch. His management style, his late sort of reactionary substitutions, getting caught between am I picking players over form, over just who I like, in terms of characters that I like. So I think there's that kind of two sides to his legacy. One side, man management, building of a team, phenomenal, but then the performance side started really well, got us going, got people in the pubs. It is still an event, but boy, towards the end was it hard work.
Yeah. You do feel like he could have moved on from some players quicker. He was even forced into that. He was forced to move on from Henderson in a way. Forced to move on from Maguire.
Being
eventually he had no choice.
So if they weren't injured, they'd probably still be in the squad. They would probably be playing more minutes than people like Mark Cavendish. And for him, this has been a fantastic tournament, and he's going to go on as a mainstay in the squad. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, massive news today. Ash, did you see it coming? Did you think he'd stay on? The FA wanted him.
He's done well enough in his results that it is his decision that he could have decided whether he wanted to carry on or not. I don't know how to feel about Gareth Southgate full stop. I don't know whether I want him. I don't know whether I wanted him gone. I don't know. His legacy is... I think down the line we will remember him as probably a great England manager because we'll probably just look at the results.
Yeah.
But how does it feel to be an England fan watching England in the Gareth Southgate era? It was an emotional roller coaster, but not necessarily enjoyable.
Are there caveats to this? I read that weren't we the top scorers at the World Cup as a team? Did I
but didn't we play like Costa Rica or something?
I know, but I wonder
Iran
if we're going to just judge it on results, so therefore we're probably going to judge it on like numbers.
Yeah.
Will the numbers
very good?
Will they tell the story? I don't know.
They might do, yeah.
Well, and also we were.
Yeah, I think the numbers, 5 years time, 10 years time, we'll probably look back at Gareth Southgate's era as a golden era, unless something better comes along. We'll probably remember it with rose-tinted spectacles, or however we remember things. Whatever metaphor you want to use. We'll remember it well, I think.
Through the lens of an M&S waistcoat, that's how we'll remember it.
Yeah, I mean, he's made M&S slightly more, slightly less your granddad, a bit more everyday man.
One of his...
I think that might just be you aging, Ben. I feel the same.
Yes, the cameras for the YouTube watchers. you'll be able to see some grey hairs
He was
glistening
really
somewhere.
proactive in moving on from that waistcoat, I'd like to say, because he could have just kept wearing that, and at least he knew that, okay,
Yeah.
I've been wearing this a bit too much now, and he ditched it.
It's done, yeah.
Well, it's a shame that he was so quick to move on with his fashion choices and less with some of his player selections. But why don't we gently move on? Let's salute Gareth Southgate. Thank you for what you've done. Atomic Kitten will be playing somewhere.
You're the one.
But let's move on and let's think who's next, who's coming in. Names that have been put out there: Eddie Howe,
A realistic one.
Graham
a realistic
Potter,
one.
Jurgen
An unrealistic
Klopp.
one.
Woof. Who's coming in? John, go on.
Well, look, yeah, that's why I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing the realistic, to me, quite boring choices in Eddie Howe and Graham Potter, and that under 21s guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Lee Carsley or something? I'm reading about he might step up. But then you've got the exciting names, probably unaffordable names in Klopp, Guardiola.
Yeah.
Do you put Tuchel in that camp? Not sure. He's not really in that camp, but some people might see him there. He's not on their level, is he?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'd love.
Well,
I'd love
also,
a Pep or Klopp. It's not going to happen, is it?
I want Wenger.
Well, also Jose's Turkish Super League, so that could be very short-lived. And you never know; he could be free soon.
I'd like that.
Wenger, do you think he's going to come back? He's going to come back, Ash. Now that he's got his plush seats at UEFA.
FIFA.
No, I don't see it happening, to be honest.
Or FIFA, yeah, FIFA.
It's going to be Stuart Pearce or something like that, probably.
Yeah.
Probably going to be Grant Holt.
Roy Keane.
I think everyone's quite agreed that they don't want
petition.
They don't want Lampard, Gerrard, Rio, Rooney.
No.
No one wants any of them.
Yeah, I bet Rooney's kicking himself, jumping the gun too early.
Yeah.
Down at the hoe.
Yeah. Something to look forward though, Ash. Something to look forward to.
It could work out. Rooney's definitely matured quite a lot. I think his stints on TV have been quite good for him. Definitely on a PR front for me. I've warmed to him a bit actually.
I saw they went to Marbella recently, the team.
Oh, Argyle.
I thought you were talking about the Roonies.
Argyle. Sorry, yeah, I'm talking about Argyle. I was thinking Argyle.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, let's quickly sum up Euro 2024
in 3 words.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go on,
I
John,
can't
kick
do
us
that,
off.
can I? All right, I'll try. I think it was. Wait, 3 words. I can't come up with 3 words. Anyone else got 3 words?
Big football. Wow.
Yep. I'll go with that.
All right. You can't make the suggestion and be like, yeah, I'll take someone
I
else.
thought someone else might be able to do it, but in reality, the task was too big.
I'll go for one. I'll make one. Ready? The fans made it. Oh, that's 4. Fans made it. Fans made it.
That, we did always talk about that, and
yeah, fans made it.
The fans made it for sure.
It was a with a little John, have you got any more now? Do you want to?
No, come back to me later.
All right then, we will do. Well, Euro 2024 is done. I got pretty good on the whole. Really did enjoy it, and that's what sparked and birthed this. Very, very exciting. And the question is, like, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? Well, massive question. Well, I've got a few suggestions for you.
Some permutations.
Give us some permutations.
I love some permutations on this pod. And in 10 days' time from today, the Olympics, the world's greatest event, kicks off in Gay Paris, and I think we're gonna just give our thoughts on it. It's not a very long tournament, and we're gonna comment a few things, just say some things that we loved, Ash will be able to dive into an opening ceremony. Hopefully, this one will be better than the Euros.
Oh, it will be.
But Olympics is coming. Have you guys even realised? Is it on your agenda?
It's on my radar. Looking forward to the table tennis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about that, Ash.
Well, it could be a China clean sweep. That's probably the most likely outcome. Men's, women's, singles, team, mixed doubles. Probably a Chinese clean sweep, but you never know. Could be.
You never know.
Could be a young Frenchman, controversially, as everyone had an attack on me on my YouTube channel, saying I was mad and I know nothing. But yeah, table tennis. That's the showpiece event for table tennis is the Olympics. So that'll be on my radar.
Love that. John, Olympics, when it comes to your mind, what is it that you immediately think of?
Well, I'm trying to think who the superstars, who we're going to see on the BBC Sport, who we're going to see BBC News, who are we going to see on the breakfast couches, BBC breakfast couches 2 weeks after
with their medals.
I'm thinking Keely Hodgkinson, she's going to Josh Kerr, maybe. I to be honest, I usually do think of the athletics. They're usually the big one for me. The rest of it, I don't know. I just might watch the odd bit of sailing.
Yeah. Is Ben Ainsley still giving it a go?
Probably, yeah. From a Cornish perspective, we're probably looking at Molly Caudry in the pole vault.
Pole vault.
Yeah.
PT?
Yes.
Well,
she's been doing very well, hasn't
Spotlight. Not just the Cornish, from a Spotlight point of view.
Oh, if we're going Spotlight wide.
Adam Peaty. He's had a big break, so it'd be interesting to see what he's like.
Who have you got your eyes on, Ben? What's the event? What's your tip for the best event?
What's whetting the appetite?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I really love is all of the sports that we get passionate about for this 2-week window and then forget the rest of the year. So I really like things like the archery, things like, shooting, gymnastics. Not that we forget that, but there's things that you don't see all the time, like the kayak slalom. All of those things are really exciting. They're really exciting because you suddenly you find a horse, you back it, and then you're like, that's it. And
equestrian. Yes.
I mean, that being said, I'll give that one a pass. But I do love it because it's the celebration of sport, and I think really when we sort of dissect a bit of what us are about in this podcast, we just love sport. We talk sport all the time, mainly football, bits of cricket, but this is just a great big celebration of a fantastic sporting summer. So and it would just be great to go through and just see like what things caught our eye, what did we enjoy, best bits, funny moments, any controversial pieces that come
Eric
out.
the Eel.
I know we want to celebrate the Eric the Eels. We want to celebrate those who win. Was it the pole vaulters or the long jumpers a couple of years ago? They both won. They couldn't separate them, so they shared the gold medal. Things like that. We want to see that.
As John
but
would
also,
say,
it's quite fun with my
I've got no time for that.
Do-gooders.
I hope we to see them.
You want to see just total elitism and domination.
Absolutely.
Well, it's really fun with it coming up with my kids because for them they're seeing lots of sports that they've never really seen before. And my son loves running, loves sprinting. Sports day for him. The sprint is like his favourite thing. So it'll be fun to watch some of the athletics with him. My daughter's really into. She likes all the gymnastics stuff. And we were watching different bits from the Olympics channel. There's breakdancing this year that caught Winston's eye, and that'll be interesting to see how they score that, what they do.
All these cool sports have sold out: skateboarding, breakdancing, surfing.
Exactly. Beach volleyball in front of the Eiffel Tower. Oh, it's gonna be glorious. Chef's kiss. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to the Olympics. But other things that we are going to be keeping an eye on are, as I've mentioned before, cricket.
Oh, come on then, Ben.
England's tour, not England's, England's test against the West Indies. We've had the T20 World Cup. We've referenced it a lot. Another sort of English heartbreak, getting so close. But I must confess, this isn't a sport that I grew up with. It's not a sport that I loved, and you guys will know it's not really a sport I loved. But the Ashes bug bit me last year, and I've been hooked ever since.
Absolute nuffy.
So I'm really I'm so looking forward to asking all the questions on behalf of our listeners who also don't
get it
cricket.
now. I think you're on a fast track program. You've taken the. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're on a Lions tour.
I'm living. I'm trying to catch up. What was it? There was the Ashes last summer, the ODI World Cup.
Oh yeah.
Then I was watching Big Bash in Australia. Then there was the South African T20. Then there was IPL. Then the T20. I've just been going from one thing to the next. I've even been watching free YouTube streams of county cricket. That's how much I've gotten into it.
That's the heart of the sport. There, you've gone to the molten core of cricket.
It's all been distilled down to that. And actually, John, you and I, we're going to be going to the Oval.
We're going on Thursday
in a few days' time to watch a bit of T20. So it'll be nice to. Is it? I've not even.
It's looking good. What you don't want to be standing outside the Oval in the drizzle. Instead, we're going to be there with all the LinkedIn fans. Will be there.
Yeah,
straight from work, straight from the office.
All the people who've used exactly. Yeah. Ash, can you just sum up for those who were like me a couple of years ago, who were like, what cricket is the world's slowest sport? How can they make a sport out of standing in a field? Can you just sum up why we should be tuning in to this next test match against the West Indies? And then we will actually come on to what's just happened. But why should we watch cricket? Why should we get into it?
You've given me a small task here.
A big responsibility.
Yeah, come on.
No, cricket's just it's a silly sport. It's a really silly sport. And that's kind of makes it unique. It's stupid. It's not very rational. Nothing in it makes sense. And that's why it's the best sport, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
things are funnier in cricket.
I sent a lot of...
Yeah.
Like, no one really... You can be like... No one's a diehard fan, but also they take it really seriously as well. It's... Yeah. It's different.
I mean, you get, like members of places that, at lunch and at tea and at afternoon tea and at 11s whenever they have a break, they get their hampers sent to them. They've got their papers and they're in their jackets, but they're not watching the cricket. They're reading a book.
Yeah, but at the same time, they'll read everything about it and they'll know everything about it. Look at the scorecards. Like you said, they're like everyone's in it, but they don't care as much as they do in football. Well, I don't know. It's just not as like.
It's not as tribal.
It's definitely not. No, apart from the Ashes, maybe.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, so let's just have a quick glance back over our shoulder because it was a pretty significant match that's just finished. So it was the first in the test against the West Indies, and there was a certain player bowed out. He played as last. Can you just share a few words, Jimmy Anderson?
Your thoughts
on him. your thoughts also on the match that's just finished.
Well, I remember when I was 12 or 13, seeing his blonde streak in the hair, and he was the new fast bowler. I thought he's going to be as good as Brett Lee, but it was a bit wayward. Then he disappeared for a couple of years, then he came back, and then he just seemed to get better and better. I mean, we've basically spent my whole life watching Anderson and Broad open the bowling. And it's strange to not have that anymore. But yeah, what career!
Yeah. Did you manage to catch some of his last tests?
I've seen the highlights, and I've seen that wicket where he where it like goes through the gate and it, he shapes it with that curve of his hand. It comes out of his hand, it curves away, and then it comes in, bowls in. Was it De Silva? Someone, I don't know who. He clean bowled someone else. That is just such a Anderson wicket. It was nice that he got that in his last match.
Who's going to replace him? Who's stepping into his shoes? You've also mentioned Stuart Broad. He's also gone. Who are England's next bowlers? Ash, is Gus Atkinson the answer? I mean, what a debut!
I think this is where the true county cricket nerds need to come in. I'm not up on county cricket bowlers, and that's people will follow really closely who's got the best bowling averages in county cricket. I don't do that. I just see them when they come into the England team, and then they're a name. But he looked pretty good, Gus Atkinson. Good wheels, good nip about, good height at the crease. all the ingredients of a good test bowler.
Yeah. I'm loving. We're already getting some of the key phrases, some of the terminology that's coming through that is just going to increase not just mine but our listeners' vocab when it comes to cricket.
Good wheels.
This is exactly height at the crease. Sounds like a nightmare for my mother when she's ironing or something. But fantastic. So we're going to be looking at this. We're going to be looking at the next Test match, which kicks off Thursday. We're recording this on the Tuesday. Kicks off on the Thursday, and Mark Wood, he's been selected to come in.
Wheels,
big friend of Ben Stokes, the captain. And do we like that? Is that good? Is it comfortable? Does it just work?
Good wheels, good bloke.
Yeah, good. I agree.
Get him in.
Yeah.
Get him in. Nice. Well, let's park that one because we're going to talk a little bit more about. We'll jump into that one next time. Now that we've sort of committed into that, but also, it's also staying with cricket very briefly. It's 1 week to go until our very favourite format of the game starts, and that's the 100. Now, the 100, John, you and I went in its first year. That was my first ever cricket match, and it was like we went to the Oval. It's not too far away from where I live, so we went to the Oval, and the Oval Invincibles. We saw the women's and the men's. Loved that they did the double game. A real feast for the family. It was excellent. But
400 balls of fun.
Oh my goodness! I never thought that it could be so fun. I mean, to be honest, it's
not
taken
including
me about 3 years to get back to another
and wide and all those kind of extras, but roughly 400 balls.
Exactly. And but as the night went on, it was like I was at multiple stag do's. There was so much going on in the stands. I almost forgot there was a game of
family
cricket
friendly. It was supposed to be, wasn't it, Ben?
Exactly, but all I can remember was the guy with his great big tower of beer mugs, fancy dress. It was great fun. It was really good. But the 100 is coming, so I'm going to chime in with a little bit of that. Just to, I think, annoy you guys and your sort of cricket purist mentality. But the cricket, so that's the 100 starts in a week's time. The Olympics in 10 days' time. But John, I thought we could finish with this week because there's another big event that's going on, event that's close to your heart, and somebody else that you've watched over the years, and that is, of course, the Tour de France. It's Mark Cavendish.
We.
Come on, just you sent us a really emotional voice memo on WhatsApp.
I was emotional that day. I've got to say, I was emotional. It's calmed down since.
Go on, just what happened for those who don't know cycling, for those who don't get it, not as in riding a bike. I mean the sport, Tour de France, the team dynamic. You win a stage, but you don't win everything. You get a different coloured shirt. You lose it the next day. Can you just
another small task?
Open our eyes a little bit. Yeah, open our eyes a little bit, but also just talk to us about sporting brilliance. Mark Cavendish. We've had a little touch on Jimmy Anderson. Mark Cavendish. Go.
I summed it up in the voice note. He's passion, and he's feel, and he's pure. He's love of the game. You know when you watch a player and they're playing for the love of the game. That's been like watching him. He's at times completely infuriating. He's got an arrogance.
A lot of parallels
about
to
him.
Jimmy.
There are really. Longevity is the word you're after there.
Old.
Doesn't know when to stop.
Exactly. They love it so much that no one can stop them. So they just keep going till they eventually break all the records.
Is this Mark Cavendish's last tour? Is it like after this? Is he done? He's done the records. What is it? The record most stage wins
ever. Most stage wins ever.
Ever. How many is
36.
that? Has he won
36 or 35?
36.
I'm not sure.
35.
And how many stages per Tour de France per year?
What? How many are there?
How many are there in the race? 21. He's won 36.
35
how many
he's
years?
won. Sorry, let's just put an asterisk on that. 35 he's won over, I think 2007 or 8 was his first tour.
Okay.
So you do the maths. 10.
If that was a goal scoring record, that's pretty poor. Less than 0.5.
It's a poor conversion rate.
For a striker.
I know what you were getting at, and you're right, Ben. It's a poor conversion rate. But
no. But I mean, this, and his thing is the sprint, the end, isn't it? So he's got to do the hills and go, I'm not here for this. He's got to do the time trials and go, this isn't my bag. He's literally there for the end product. He's basically the midwife of Tour de France. He goes, does the end job. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks very much.
Yeah, exactly. But he has to ride the same course as everyone else. He has to suffer like everyone else.
He does.
It's the beauty of the tour.
Wow. Jimmy Anderson, Mark Cavendish, Andy Murray has also bowed out this year.
Yeah. I think again, is this us getting old?
It is. Maybe it's our golden generation of athletes. There's no Usain Bolt in the Olympics. There's no Steve Redgrave. I mean, he's not been there for a while, but who else has come? Who else are we going to wake up at 7 a.m. to watch row? All of this answers will be given on a postcard as we get into it, as we dive into the Olympics, the cricket, everything else that's coming on. Guys, it's going to be an amazing summer of sports. I'm very excited to be doing the journey with you. I'm happy to be back. And John will be at the cricket on Thursday. We'll tell everyone how it was as we look for a big Surrey win. But guys, let's actually, before we go, I've got one final Who Am I? And it's one for the pair of you.
Is it?
It's one for the pair of you. And
not cricket, then.
I'm just gonna. It's one for the pair of you. It's one final Who Am I? Because John, you were on 4 points from our last one. You had Fernando Torres with his Tolkien loving tattoos, and Ash, you went all or nothing on Emmanuel Petit instead of Zinedine Zidane. So I've got one more. I've got one more for you, and it's between the pair of you. And what I would like, this is going to be a winner takes all. Who am I? Okay. And what I'd like is I'd love you each to do a buzzer. Okay. So, John, your buzzer is going to be a very Tour de France. Allez, allez, allez. That's your buzzer. And Ash, yours is going to be ping pong. Okay, that's going to be your ping pong.
Hang on.
That's going to be yours.
Can I do? Can I say how's that instead? That.
Oh, you can say how's that. That's better. I was trying to keep it a bit more.
A ping pong. I don't know. It just feels dangerous to say that somehow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Fair enough. Is it because people just prefer the term table tennis? Fair enough.
It's the whole
do it.
host of reasons.
How's that? How's that? And Ale, are we ready?
Yes.
So come in when you think you've got it. It's all or nothing. For the last time, let's play Who Am I? At Euro 2012, I was banned for the first 2 group stage matches for a sending off during the qualifiers for the tournament. So at Euro 2012, I was banned for the first 2 group stage matches for a sending off during the qualifiers for that tournament. Okay, question number 2. Remember, buzzers at the ready. I scored 4 goals at Euro 2004.
How's that? How's that one?
Ashley Taylor.
Wayne Rooney?
Ashley Taylor. It is Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney. Ash, you are the Who Am I
Congratulations.
champion
Yes.
in the winner-takes-all final.
I'm gutted.
You are the champion.
I'm here
Yes.
crying like Carvajal or Morata.
Well done. Well done. Guys, that concludes the end of today's pod. The Euros have gone. Auf Wiedersehen. And we're going to say bonjour to Paris, to the Olympics, to the rest of the sporting summer. It is going to be one hell of a ride. I'm glad that you're with me. Buckle up as we canter down the Champs-Élysées, and let's all say
Clip in.
au revoir.
Adieu. Adieu.
Adieu. Clip in. Guys, have a great one. See you later.